With the war in Ukraine now in its fourth year and an apparent shift in support from the U.S. government, we wanted to check in with the owner of a local company that's building some of the equipment being used in the fight. Roman Shimonov is the founder of Brampton-based Roshel Smart Armored Vehicles and joins me now live in our parking lot here in front of one of these remarkable armored vehicles. Roman, appreciate you being here this morning to talk about this. Before we get into the vehicles and what's happening with your vehicles, just the state of this battle in general. Here we are now in the fourth year. There are apparently some peace talks going to be happening this week, but what is your sort of read on what's been going on in Ukraine recently?
So there is a lot of uncertainty, a lot of things that needs to be done, not just on our international efforts to support our allies, but also to support ourselves, our domestic defense capabilities and enhancement, our freedom of choice by being able to support and being able to be self-reliable when it comes to the defense sector. Because this is the backbone, this is the economy backbone, this is what basically creates the jobs, and this is what we're doing here in Canada.
And yeah, all made in Canada by Canadians, pretty remarkable here, and shipped, many of them, to Ukraine. Did you say 1,600 or so?
1,700, yeah. More than any other company in the world, all produced here in Ontario, Canada, proudly Canadian content. We hired over almost 500 people work a full-time job for Roshel. We design, we build everything here in Canada, and I think what is important now more than ever is to be able to rely on ourselves when it comes to the defense enhancement.
Yeah, Roman, you were telling me that as much as this is a made in Canada and really a success story, that the Canadian government, in fact, isn't buying these.
They bought in the past, but unfortunately out of over 1,700 units that we deployed so far to Ukraine, most of them, the majority, over 90% were donated by allies, US, European government, Ukrainian government. And unfortunately, as a Canadian manufacturer, as a backbone of the economy, as the employer, we would appreciate to have more ability to get more support from our domestic, from our government, more than from the allies.
And when you take a look at, for example, the pressure Canada is facing right now when it comes to increasing its spend on NATO, et cetera, this would be, I mean, each of these vehicles, I believe, are around $600,000, right? So there's, an ability to spend, but also it funnels back into the economy when you're hiring so many Canadian workers as well.
I think in addition to the importance to sustain our own employment rate and sustain the domestic defense capabilities, it is vital for us, especially now, to be able to support companies that enhance our defense capabilities. We have to be able to rely on ourselves more than ever.
Right.
And this is exactly what we're doing here.
What could this do, or what are the capabilities of a vehicle like this on the battlefield right now in Ukraine?
So in Ukraine, as we saw, the whole doctrine has been changed, where a $300 FPV drone can take down a multi-million-dollar vehicle in the same way as it can take down this vehicle. While both of these vehicles that comes with a different price tag, they do the same job when it comes to the protection. This vehicle can take up to 25 kilos of TNT from 2 meters, and this is very comparable to multi-million-dollar vehicles that are being sent, and that's the reason why allies, including Ukraine themselves, are buying and choosing time after time our vehicle.
How many soldiers could you put in a vehicle like this?
So this vehicle can take up to 11 people, 10 plus 1, with a gunner on top. And this vehicle, not just a personal transportation vehicle, but a multi-purpose vehicle that can transport cargo. It can have a different capabilities like an anti-drone integration system and many others. And again, the cost efficiency is the key here, and it's all made in Canada.
I'm really curious about the testing in terms of how you know what it can withstand. Are you quite literally blowing these up and testing? Is that what you do?
Blowing all the time. We have certificates, NATO standards 4569, that we test time after time with blast and ballistic mitigation certified in accordance to the most highest standards of NATO.
Right. And how long does it take to put one of these together?
It takes us, the turnaround is the shortest in industry, up to 2 weeks, and we produce over 120 units per month, more than any other company in North America.
Okay, hey, Roman Shimonov, appreciate this. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
That's going to wrap up our show this morning. I'm going to jump inside right now as we sort of take a look here, but Roman, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's been CP24 breakfast for this Monday, March the 10th. Oh boy, this is quite the equipment here. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you Tuesday morning. The headlines continue at 10 with Beatrice. Wow. Look at that.